Alright everyone, we've somehow reached Friday and we've got another weekend of Celtic action ahead. But still plenty to chat about from the draw against Atalanta in Bergamo. Stevie is here too. Stevie, what kind of mood are you in today?
I'm alright, but as John Coffey said in the motion picture, The Green Mile, I'm tired, boss. It is 11 o'clock here, and I've had a long day. But Hamish, I'll stay up just for you. Don't worry about that.
It's much appreciated. I should say a couple of apologies right away. Number one apology. Some builders just in the neighbouring house. In fact, it's a few houses down the street here in Brisbane. So apologies if you can hear that. I'll try and mute it when Stevie's talking. But my big apology, Stevie.
Is that a cold one?
It's a Great Northern, brewed in Queensland, I believe. And
Is it not pretty early to be cracking open one at this time?
it's never too early. 7:59 a.m. Stevie. Does he drink?
People would say
He drinks.
people would say you've got a problem, Hamish. Not me, but many would.
Okay, I just thought I'd get a wee beer for the occasion because it's bloody lovely, and if nothing else, just to wind you up, Stevie. But you'll be in a fine mood, because Celtic are good again. We go through this weird world where Celtic are either good or we're bad. We're bad after Dortmund, and now suddenly everything is well in the world again after that draw in midweek.
Yeah, strange one, wasn't it? I wasn't expecting it, but it's very welcome, and I had to probably laugh at no doubt. Like I'm very much in a bubble. I was saying to you earlier, I don't see any nonsense comments online. Pretty much just see what you and the guys say in a chat. But you were showing me some people were claiming Celtic fans were like moaning about anti-football or whining about it, and I don't know any Celtic fan that wouldn't have taken that. If anything, I was actually happy with the performance, happy with how we competed, happy with how we defended, happy with a point against a very, very good side that are miles better than us, and it was a throwback to the days of Martin O'Neill striking, getting results against all odds. Just it was a nervous and uncomfortable 90 minutes, but we persevered. As I say, we were resilient, and we got our rewards for it. I think it's fair to say Atalanta controlled that game. You can't say that they resorted to. I saw some people I was speaking to saying they resorted to just crosses and that, but I think they generally controlled a lot of that game, but it made it more impressive with that result that we got. And yeah, okay, we got lucky with some of our poor finishing, but how many times, Hamish, like flip back with the Dortmund game, everything they hit went in. For Atalanta, it wasn't quite the case, and I think Neil Lennon said it best before, that sometimes in Europe, you just need your goalkeeper to turn up and a hell of a lot of luck. And we got both. Thought Kasper Schmeichel had a great performance. We did get a lot of luck, but most importantly, we remained really focused. We concentrated all game. I think a lot of us were waiting on that classic sucker punch, that we've seen with Celtic and also like Scotland in the Euros and everything. Didn't happen. And I, for one, could not be happy at that. And if that's the rest of our away games, if that's the performances and the results, but we'll get a point, great. No complaints for me.
And that is saying something when there's no complaints from you. It was quite. I don't know. Like you're saying, it was nervy. I was nervy, right? Obviously, the later you go into the game, you get nervier because one Atalanta goal is probably going to be decisive. They didn't really create much late on. I think the free kicks got me the nerviest, and so daft from Liam Scales, I think it was first, and then Austin Trusty goes and gives away an even dafter one right after that. But that was the only real moment I'm thinking, oh, please don't curl this in. But again, there was no real threat. But I think generally Kasper Schmeichel had a really good game. Probably a better game than I actually gave him credit for yesterday. There's been some compilations going around, Steve, that you won't have seen on social media, and he made a number of really good saves actually. There's one from a header. There was one, the really big one with his feet, which is a fabulous save. I thought that isn't getting the credit it deserves. I think Pasalic is the big chance, and there's no doubt Atalanta were wasteful as well. But you need to be organised. You need to have your keeper having a good to really good game, and you also need a bit of luck. And I think we got all three of those.
Yeah, and also, by the way, there was a save in the second half that Schmeichel made, and I think he did get turned really easy, but what was important was the ball was skidding and he held on to it. You know, if he paddies that out, probably a goal from a striker. So yeah, really, really good performance from him. And no, you're right. I think the fact is that I think Brendan Rodgers, I could say, proved a lot of people wrong, myself included, because I didn't expect him to set us up like that. I didn't think we had it in us. Now we do, and we can. After the Slovan game, we were all up here. Dortmund game, all of us were just away down here. Now we can look to build on that. 4 points for 3 games is brilliant for us now, and we can. The most important thing is we can now go into the rest of that campaign with a bit of optimism and positivity again. Because see, if we get battered, the other night, that would have just been a write-off. I would have been getting into that Leipzig game knowing that they're needing to come to get a result now to stay in the competition probably at Celtic Park. I would have been into that Leipzig game if we get battered, just feeling the worst and not looking forward to it now. I'm very aware this could get clipped and laughed at, right? But we have got a chance to put misery on a team like Leipzig and potentially put them out in the competition at Celtic Park. I mean,
yeah. Huge game for them, isn't it? Like it's a
massive for them.
It's a must-win for them. And I think if it's going to a draw going into the closing stages, they're going to have to try and win the game. We don't really have to win the game.
Yeah, it's going to be such an exciting game, and that's what it's all about. I mean, how exciting is that? The chance to be able to do that to a team like Leipzig, it's unheard of. So, I mean, I say unheard of. Like obviously Rangers did that thing 2 seasons ago. So
that was in the Champions League. No, sorry, it was Europa League, wasn't it? So yeah,
I could still the UEFA Cup to me, but yeah, definitely it's going to be some occasion, and again, it's going to be some occasion because of the anti-football and the performance that was put in Bergamo and
anti-football.
Complaints, as I say, I've seen a lot of comments about it and everything, like people accusing us of it.
Okay, you weren't saying that.
Aye, but it's mostly from certain other clubs in this great country that we play in. Of course, we hate to give Celtic credit, but anyway, it's not about them. Celtic were excellent the other night and brilliant result. And it just even getting into the game at Fir Park on Sunday. I think now, I mean, I've got total confidence in the team ahead of that game as well. I think it puts us in a really good place.
We'll come on to that at the end. Stevie, I've got a bunch of comments from our wonderful viewers today, so we'll rattle through. I think there's about 12 here or something like that, so we will rattle through them, starting with Matthew Rossi. What a result. We got the same result as Arsenal there. Proud of the team and manager. It can't be downplayed at all, and delighted for everyone connected to the club. Good chance to qualify for the playoffs now. We do have a good chance. I just wanted to flash up the stuff. I did this before our campaign actually started, a reminder of the points totals Opta reckon you need for top 24 and top 8 as well. Not that we're too likely to get in there. This is based on 50,000 simulations. So 7 points won't be enough, Stevie. 8 points, if we get 8 points, so 4 more points, we'll have a 16% chance of making the top 24. Almost certainly won't be enough. If you get 9 points, your chances go up to 69%. Nearly 7 out of 10. And if you can get to 10 points, your chances go up to 99%. So almost certainly going to be guaranteed. So 9 points, fair chance 9 points does it. 10 definitely does it. We've already got 4 and we've got 5 games left.
Hamish, I'm pretty sure me and you, when the Champions League draw was made, I can't remember the prediction. Did I not say we get 10 points? You said something like we get 11 points.
Why don't we get your prediction, Stevie, for each game, and I'll tell you if I think we'll do better or worse or same as that. So Celtic versus Slovan Bratislava.
I think a Celtic win.
I think Celtic will win that as well. I don't think it'll be easy, but I think we'll win it. Right, so we've each got us in 3 points. Borussia Dortmund away.
I think Dortmund will beat us.
I agree. Atalanta away.
I think Atalanta will beat us as well.
I think we'll get a point. in that game.
Aye, honestly, I wouldn't have to say it. I thought it was going to be 3 points for the first 3 games, Slovan, and then 2 defeats. Like, we're in a great position, and the team deserves so much credit for it.
Right, next comment, we've got Voidoid77. Brilliant performance, especially when compared to the disaster that was Dortmund. Scales, Trusty and Schmeichel all solid, much more compact and tight. Midfield was good. Ida Kyogo not exactly notable, but Ida at least was an extra tall guy in hoops in our box when they had their umpteen corners. Big credit, kudos to Brendan for finally getting it right away in Europe. Do you think that's like it now? I think we were me and Asim were keen to make the point yesterday that playing like that doesn't always guarantee a result, because we could still conceivably have lost that game last night. Atalanta still had the chances to win that game. I think we both felt that playing like that gives you an opportunity to get results. I don't think playing like we did in Dortmund, you have any opportunity against these so-called elite teams, or even the teams in the kind of rung below that. But is this the game plan now, going away from home? Did we show it yesterday? I mean, we'd be daft now against these top teams away from home to do anything but that, to just be a bit more resolute. And I actually think we can carry more threat going forward, so I actually think that's not the complete performance yet. I think defensively it was pretty bang on, but I think we can be better going forward as well.
Yeah, I think that should be the template for games. I'm talking even against Zagreb. Like, don't go into games against Zagreb.
I actually agree with that. I agree.
I'm telling you, I think that should be the template. Keep it, as Brendan said, nice and tight. Keep it like that, right? And then just, as I say, a couple of balls over the top. I think you said in the chat a couple of times that was the run with Maeda, and that didn't come off against Atalanta, because they've got really, really good defenders. They're quick, they're really imposing, and they can read a game well. Zagreb defenders might not, and I think for that the away game there, and certainly against Villa, definitely has to be that kind of template. I don't think you change it now. Like, okay, it works, and we might play like that against Zagreb. We'll give away chances, we might give away goals, and right, I get that, and then Brendan will come in for criticism. But see there, that's what you take from it last night, that the system that you played there, you don't be too open, you be far more compact, and the press, as a result, even guys like Callum McGregor was getting so much more help from ankles, because they're, more tighter, and they're not like all over the park that was all against Dortmund. So yeah, I think you've got to go with that for the last 2 games, and do not change it.
And John CL, who I always enjoy hearing from, made a good point, saying in the pre-season, more relaxed games, we broke brilliantly against Man City and Chelsea. We need that calmness for Europe to pick these teams off. And I don't want to labour the point, because Wednesday night was a really good team performance, and it was exactly what we needed to see. But I do agree with that. I think in pre-season we did look really free when we were counter-attacking. We looked like we were under no real pressure and able to really express ourselves. Whereas last night, I think when we got the ball, I thought we rushed things a little bit too much at times, and it was almost as if we were kind of rushing that pass when I would rather we just kept the ball, or the players weren't quite in the same wavelength. So I actually think that's a positive. I think when that clicks, and I'm pretty sure Brendan Rodgers, that'll be the one point that he really wants us to improve on based on last night, because he'll be pleased with the result last night, but he will want us to carry more of an attacking threat, because we didn't really. I know we had a few chances, like Vai's shot that was deflected was probably the closest we came, and Kyogo had that one that a great effort, wasn't it, on the volley that just was always going over the bar. But generally you'd want to see a bit more from us, and I think Rodgers will be saying that. I think he'll be saying, defend like that, but when you get the ball, keep it, but also show more quality. And it might just be a confidence thing, because we saw it in pre-season. But I think it's really exciting that we can defend like that, and that was without Carter Vickers as well. So Really good. And yeah, Voidoid, right to praise Scales, Trusty, Schmeichel, they were all great. Concerned Citizen saying, great result from the team last night. There's no getting away from the Dortmund result. But prior to the Dortmund and Atalanta games, I was happy with a point out of the possible 6. We got a point, supporters watched, and the players gave a solid performance. The games against last season's Champions League runners-up and Europa League winners are behind us now. Yeah, when you put it like that, they were tough games. We've retrieved any lost confidence and can look forward to the remainder of the Champions League campaign. And we've got a real shot at it now, Stevie. Even take the Leipzig game out of things. If that doesn't go to plan, that's going to be a real challenge, I think. The 3 games after that are a real opportunity for the team. Club Brugge at home, Dinamo Zagreb away, Young Boys at home. And the point, I can't find the comment, but the point was made by one of our wonderful viewers yesterday, saying that the next 4 teams we play are all behind us in the table at the moment. So there's an opportunity there for us to get the points that we need.
Yeah, and it's the big one's the confidence factor, because I remember it's so important just to pick up the results at home. It really is. And I remember in the years under Martin O'Neill and even Strachan, I know we had the terrible away record, but it wasn't like you were getting into those away games like dreading an absolute doing, because we made the most of picking up points at home. We have got to do that in these next games. Leipzig, I wouldn't be shocked if a draw is maybe likely. I don't think I'm getting into this Leipzig game thinking, it's we're favourites on that or anything.
I think we can win that.
Sorry.
I definitely think we can win that game. I think Celtic Park. I think the games are totally different at Celtic Park. Leipzig are a good team and they're going to be wounded coming to Celtic Park, but I think that might play into our hands. The fact that the pressure's really going to be on them. If they lose that game, potentially even draw that game, they're really struggling to make it through.
Yeah, I know, but it's just I've seen from us in the past, like there's been too many daft results, and I know that we beat Slovan Bratislava and we got that result last night, but we need a more sustained run to really, really gain the trust in this team. This team still have a lot to lose, and they still have a lot to prove, and I think if they can go into that Leipzig game and avoid the defeat, that's massive for the next games ahead, and they've got to make the home run, the home games count after that, Hamish. So certainly even the games against Bruges and all that, I think Bruges, they're playing, they've got a home game that's coming up. So by the time we've played Leipzig, and then, Bruges have played as well, they could be on potentially like 6 points coming to Celtic Park. They could see that as, their chance to get 9 points when they come to Celtic Park as well, and gets them into the next round. So, there's so much to play for both sides. It's going to be, as I say, really exciting. And that's why
you seen who they've got next, though, Club Brugge?
Oh, is it a big dog?
Yeah, Aston Villa at home. So that'll be a tough one for them.
Yeah, that will be a tough one. Villa, who they? Nah, I think that'll be a really tough one for them. But yeah, I totally agree that we've got to make the home games count. And if we can get past, the Leipzig one, don't do anything daft, and we get a positive result, I think we can look at these next, don't want to say 4 games, because I think Aston Villa away is going to be such a wee bit beyond us. I know you sometimes disagree with that. But
could be through. They could be top 8 by then. They're looking like they'll be top 8 by then.
Could be a dead rubber. Who knows? But the 3 games obviously before it, so key if all goes to plan against Leipzig, I think, Hamish.
Right, Green Lichty saying, I was really pleased with the performance and effort last night, as I'm sure most Celtic fans would be. I just get annoyed with the way media outlets describe it as backs to the wall, etc., where Scottish teams coming to Celtic Park and getting a result are hailed as heroic. Yeah, I've actually not listened to much of the kind of media reaction to the result.
Same.
We're not much help then, Green Lichty.
I know, I genuinely couldn't care if the media slag us or give us credit and praise. What matters is what I see with my own eyes, and I think most Celtic fans will be giving the players and the manager credit. Whatever the papers want to do, it's up to them. Doesn't really concern me what they say. The most important thing is I've seen Celtic been mortifying in Europe over the years, and the other night certainly wasn't. It was one that actually, after it you could say you were proud of, and I can guarantee you, a certain other team got to a couple of European finals playing like that. So,
Why do you keep mentioning them?
well, it's the comparison, innit? With that style of football.
You watched their game last night? I bet you did. I bet you sat and watched it all.
Turned it off at 1-0 when I've got proof. I've got people that will back me up. 1-0, I just went, off you go. Stoya with an embarrassment. Terrible.
Yeah. Okay, right. Steve Catterson, very encouraging result. Hamish, you made a great point around 18 minutes in, and something I was previously blethering about to my disinterested 7-year-old and the Doug. If we just managed to look a smidge more threatening on the counter-attack, that would have been the cherry on the cake. There are fine margins at this level, and I feel there will be games where we perform like this but lose a goal, so nicking one of our own could make a big difference in terms of racking up points. I'm keen not to take anything away from last night, but this for me would be the next step, and it's one that's realistic, I think. Fine, I agree. I think we're always wanting more from Celtic, and I think that more will come as well. Gail Smith, a brilliant backs-to-the-wall performance against a top-quality side away from home. This will do wonders for our confidence, though we may be required to do more of the same when we play Leipzig at home on Bonfire Night. It's going to be a tough game, that, but what a game that's going to be, Stevie. Sold out Celtic Park. The biggest team we're playing at home, it's fair to say. Certainly the kind of best team we're playing at home in our fixtures this year. That's going to be the real one people have kind of earmarked, so can't wait for that. Verde Socks. I felt Trusty was getting a lot of undeserved stick from Celtic fans who like to pick a player to blame when results don't go our way, and he was the chosen sacrifice for some reason. Delighted he's had his redemption for those fans, and we can all get behind him now. He was brilliant. I thought Trusty was great first half. A lot of defending his box. I think that's encouraging that he's able to do that. Scales was great as well. Badger, that was an unexpected point against one of the big European teams. Defence was outstanding. Scales and Trusty were immense. Valle was much better than I thought he'd be, and AJ was excellent after an 8th minute yellow card. We're a point better off than I thought we'd be at this stage with 2 home games coming up. We are a point ahead of schedule, so all good there. And finally, James Malani, best 0-0 win away from home we've had in Europe. Point could be huge for us. Hope players take confidence from this one. Maybe compliment Aberdeen too, as the weekend maybe focus minds a bit too. I think Austin Trusty, I'm sure I read Austin Trusty had mentioned that the Aberdeen game maybe just gave us a little reminder. So thank you, Aberdeen.
Yeah, but
Stevie?
I was saying that was a good thing. It was good that we went into that Aberdeen game maybe with a wee bit of doubt and something to prove. That was what I said in Monday with Rizzo, because imagine we went in, scudded Aberdeen 5-0, think we're the Harlem Globetrotters or something, just like when we beat St Johnstone into that Dortmund game. Like, Eagles would have been out of control, but actually grounded us a wee bit, and I don't think that was a bad thinking into the Atalanta game, so I actually agree with that.
Right, we move on to Motherwell, Sunday afternoon, 3pm kickoff, Stevie. I think it's a double header on Sky this week. You've got the Edinburgh Derby first and then Motherwell v Celtic, so a good afternoon in front of the box. Motherwell 5th in the league, 4 wins, a draw and 3 losses so far in the league this season. Here's my team for the game. You can let me know what you think. I've made some changes, but mainly in midfield. I would be tempted to make more changes, but I think we play Dundee next midweek at Celtic Park. That might be the game for more changes, because we've then got Aberdeen after that. So I think you maybe send a few of them out. I know Wednesday night was a tough one, but anyway, Schmeichel, Johnston, but we'll wait and see. Trusty, Scales, Valle, but we'll wait and see if Taylor's back. Midfield's where I'm making my changes, so McGregor, McCowan, Bernardo is the midfield I want to see, and front 3, Kuhn, Kyogo, Maeda.
Genuinely, exact same team I go with.
Come on.
No, we've disagreed before. That's the midfield. I think McCown for the start. He'll bring so much energy and tenacity to that game.
I think he will start as well. I don't think it's like a fan thing. I think Brendan Rodgers will start Luke McCowan on Sunday. I'm kind of confident of that. He's not started the game yet.
No, he's not. He came on against Hearts and scored. No, you're right. Rangers, they came on, and then against Aberdeen. He's impressed in every game he's come on. And speaking of players that impressed when he came on, I thought Bernardo was brilliant the other night, and I think he deserves a start. So yeah, I would go with McCown, Bernardo, McGregor. That would be it. And then we know what it's like. If they're toiling and struggling, Real Hatate and Arne Engels is not a bad option off the bench, is it?
Any concerns for this game? As I say, Motherwell having a good season. It's always tough at Fir Park. I think this could be a real tough one after Atalanta. Away from home, physical team, Motherwell, and got some good players. We had some tough games against them last season, didn't we? So I'm not saying I'm concerned, because I think we'll be fine, but I think this might be a bit of a tough one on Sunday.
I do, but it's really it was so important we got that result for the confidence going into this game too in midweek. Remember, we get beat off Feyenoord last season, went into the game at Fir Park, and that was a real struggle. Matt O'Reilly bailed us out. We didn't deserve that one at all. And then we remember Adam Eder bailed us out again. So it'd be nice to go there with a bit of control, get an early goal or two, and actually be comfortable in the game. I agree with you. I think it'll be a tough game too, Motherwell. We'll set up pretty, and it'll be pretty stuffy. And I reckon, I think the only thing is, I know Dundee, who are in chronic form this season, actually beat them on Saturday. So I think they've had a good wee run before that. So yeah, I think they'll be up for it. They always usually are against us, and I think as well the result last week probably will sort of give them a bit of a belt on the backside, really. But I think we should still be too strong for them. But not a gimme at all. Not an easy win. We'll have to play really well to win.
Anything else happening in your life, Stevie, you want to share?
As I'm on this funny stuff, I think I've made something like, I don't know how many times I've been on, and I've got this Ange Postecoglou cough kicking about every time. Like for like half of the videos, I've always seemed to come down with something. It's so annoying. So thanks again for putting up with us.
You need to start just looking at when you talk to complete the full Ange look.
Call you mate all the time and everything. No, seems to be.
If you're looking for medicine, Stevie, that's my Redox.
Well, very good. No, I've got some Benylin. Don't worry about that. I'll be fine.
It's a wee David Brent reference that you just didn't get at all. But
I think yeah. I just didn't want to give you any credit. But Hamish, it's well established that you are a funny man. Okay, if you want that wee ego. It's not, honestly. Cheers. Hopefully, it'll be all good. Going to have to start down in this buying a bottle these days. Cheers, man.
That's fine. Well, I really feel.
Cheers to the audience for putting up with it as well.
I really feel for you, mate.
No,
I hope you feel better, and I'm sure everyone feels like that as well. Right, okay, no video tomorrow. I will be back in Melbourne by Sunday when we'll have the usual match reaction. Just while I've got you as well, just because things are probably a little bit busier after a result in midweek, I'll make a little plea for you to potentially subscribe to the channel if you've not done it yet. We're nearly at 11,000 subscribers, Stevie, so it'd be great to get there. And also, if you go into your podcast app and search for Celtic AM and subscribe there too, that'd be much appreciated. The numbers are going up. We're not quite at Gig Pod levels, but we're getting.
And you never will be.
Okay, Stevie got the last say, everyone. Great stuff. Thanks for watching. Catch you on Sunday after the game.